And by the way, I've talked to them. Yo, Offset done, what is it? Sweetie, Christian Rock, Ari, like, yo, this is, yo, Offset was piping out chicks that Cardi was supposed to do music with.
I'm a Sagittarius man, right? As a man, it's my birthday. I have to understand what is the cause and effect of some shit.
You wanted the gang, you should have just asked for it.
Back to Sweetie, I think he was definitely talking about my said he say on the song, "Big cousin." Gang is referring to Migos, like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody in the gang.
Deal with it in real time when you're looking at it. How do you deal with that? You just like, I'm a
human being. You see me say some sometimes. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then I just had to realize it is what it is.
The real drama behind the Migos breakup might be even messier than the music. Offset just sat down with Joe Budden and, without saying any names, dropped a string of hints that sent the internet into full detective mode. Within hours, fans were connecting the dots back to one icy ex, a string of alleged betrayals, and a family feud that may never heal. Now the streets are asking, did Offset just reignite the Cold War with Quavo? And is Sweetie still the grenade between them? Offset walked into that Joe Budden interview looking calm, confident, and ready to talk music. But once the conversation shifted toward relationships, loyalty, and how past actions can ripple into the present, the energy changed. His talk about cause and effect might have sounded like harmless self-reflection to a casual listener, but to fans it was loaded. It was the kind of statement that says everything without saying anything, the kind that makes people rewind and ask, wait, who's he really talking about? The internet didn't waste a second, zeroing in on the long-standing rumor that Offset had been romantically linked to Sweetie.
Okay, so I'm hearing Sweetie done slept with Offset and Quavo. So this the whole breakdown. This what I'm hearing. Sweetie done slept with Offset before she was messing with Quavo. Then she messed with Quavo after she bang Offset. And when to get back when she broke up with Quavo, she bang Offset again. So what do that make her? She done got passed around. So that's why I don't really see her friends with nobody in the industry. She's still beautiful though, but Quavo, why would you even cuff her? I'm pretty sure it was already said or known that something was going on with her Offset before you.
Quavo's ex, in the very definition of off limits in their tight-knit circle. It didn't take long for social media to turn into a full-blown investigation. TikTok threads, Twitter breakdowns, Instagram reels, every platform lit up with old clips, dissected lyrics, and grainy screenshots. People dug back into the timeline of Quavo and Sweetie's relationship, not just the glossy moments that had them labeled hip-hop's icy couple, but the explosive ending that played out like a season finale on reality TV, and at the center of that ending, the infamous elevator footage. TMZ dropped it in 2021, a tense, silent scuffle in a North Hollywood apartment building. No yelling, no words we could hear, but the body language said it all. Quavo tugging on her arm, Sweetie taking a stumble, the two wrestling over what looked like an orange Call of Duty case. Then that pause, the one where Quavo glanced up and seemed to notice the security camera. And still, nothing. No apology, no hand to help her up. From there, the unraveling was public and brutal. The Bentley he'd gifted her was repossessed. The subtweets went from icy to cutting, and then came the music. Quavo's track Messy with Takeoff didn't name names, but fans didn't need him to. You wanted the gang, you should have just said it, we would have blessed it. One line and the internet turned into a crime lab. Gang clearly meant Migos. And in the Migos family tree, the dog was obvious. It was a betrayal theory that fit too perfectly. Offset, his cousin, the group's other frontman, allegedly getting involved with Sweetie. If true, it wasn't just messy. It was the kind of personal and professional line crossing you don't come back from. The thing about Migos is they weren't just a rap group, they were blood. Loyalty wasn't just a talking point in interviews, it was their brand. Which is why, when Takeoff's tragic passing shook the hip-hop world, many thought grief would bridge whatever divide had formed between Offset and Quavo. Instead, the cracks seemed wider than ever. At the 2023 Grammys, hours before Quavo was set to deliver his emotional tribute, Without You, during the In Memoriam segment, reports claimed the two cousins got into a heated physical altercation backstage. Witnesses described shoving, shouting, and a crew scrambling to pull them apart. Offset denied it on Twitter, but the denial didn't match the visual memories fans had from Takeoff's funeral, where the two barely acknowledged each other. And then there's Cardi B. From the moment the Offset Sweetie rumors started to gain traction, people were waiting for her to light up social media with a trademark clapback. Instead, she stayed quiet. No tweets, no rants, nothing, which of course only fueled speculation that she was avoiding the topic on purpose.
There's a song that Quavo had, and the song was called Mess. The internet was talking, and you were quiet.
I was quiet because one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find out the truth. And you know that I was finding out that truth. If I entertain something that I know is not true on the internet, people be like, oh, it is true because you're addressing it. But when I don't address it, it's true as well. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna entertain. And at the end of the day, I know what's going on in my house.
When she finally did speak about it months later in an interview with Jason Lee, she kept her cards close to her chest, refusing to confirm, refusing to deny. It was a masterclass in controlled PR, but the calm didn't last forever. The Oscars after party was where the alleged Cold War between the women came to a head. According to witnesses, Cardi spotted Sweetie at Vanity Fair's event and walked straight over demanding, "What you gotta say now?" The tension was thick. Cardi's voice was raised, her energy fiery. Sweetie, on the other hand, didn't match it. No yelling, no cursing, just a cool, unbothered stance. She kept it classy, some said icy. Later, Cardi hopped on Instagram Live, flashing her multi-million-dollar jewelry and dropping enough cryptic comments to keep the rumor mill spinning. Sweetie, meanwhile, made her own subtle moves online, a calculated silence that spoke volumes. Sweetie's career trajectory after Quavo was equally dissected. Before the breakup, she was everywhere, locking in major partnerships with McDonald's, Crocs, Bratz, even video game tie-ins. She was marketable, brand-friendly, and seemingly untouchable. But post-breakup, the headlines started focusing less on her work and more on her alleged relationships. Lil Baby rumors flared up after paparazzi photos surfaced. Chris Brown slipped in lyrics that hinted at an old fling while she was still with Quavo. A blind item even claimed she'd gotten into it physically with one of Quavo's exes. No matter what she did, her name kept orbiting the Migos drama like it was trapped in its gravity, and now Offset's latest interview has pulled all of it right back into the spotlight. He never outright said, yes, it happened, but he didn't slam the door on the rumor either. His vague answers, his non-denials, and his willingness to let the streets connect the dots were all the confirmation some fans needed. Quavo, for his part, hasn't addressed it directly since those messy lyrics, but the absence of a public reconciliation speaks volumes. If the wounds were healed, they'd be seen together. They're not. Which brings us back to the big question, is this just old history being rehashed for entertainment, or is the wound still open? If Offset's words were meant to poke Quavo, did they succeed? And if Sweetie really was at the center of this fallout, was she worth it? The tension, the split, and the possible permanent end of one of hip-hop's most influential groups? The fans are split. Some think this is all PR, that both sides benefit from keeping the speculation alive. Others believe it's personal beyond repair. Either way, it's a reminder that in hip-hop, the drama off the mic can hit harder than anything in the booth. So what's your take? Is the Migos chapter officially closed for good, or could we still see a reunion against all odds? Drop your thoughts below, and if you want to be the first to hear the next twist in this saga, hit subscribe, because trust me, the tea we've got coming will make this look like the warm-up.